Welcome back, everybody. Today we have a really fun, dark topic.
Well, I don't know. Yes, it is fun and dark.
Yes.
It has to do with a TV show, but we can relate it to real life, sort of.
Yes, kind of. But
Yeah.
let's get into the TV
Okay, let's
show.
go. So the TV show is Black Mirror season
7,
ep-
episode 1.
1, and it
Common
is
people.
called Common People.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like Black Mirror on Netflix, that's the one. Netflix does not sponsor us,
No.
right? It is a poignant and unsettling episode that delves into the commodification of healthcare and the human cost of technological dependence,
Yes.
right? Which is crazy because if you watch American TV, like cable TV, and like if you go to the States and watch it in your hotel room or whatever, and you see it is nothing but drug ads. Nothing but drug ads.
Yeah, that's what my uncle says. Someone that's in LA.
Yeah,
Because it's all
it's insane.
ads about drugs. Okay, that was a summary, which skipped out on a lot of things. So if you've already
So people can go watch it.
so
But
if you already
the point
watched
is,
it.
the exorbitant fees are problematic, but it's also a critique of subscription-based healthcare models
Mm-hmm.
where essential services become luxuries accessible only to the affluent. So, for example, we basically already have subscription fee healthcare. You just pay an insurance company as the go-between,
Mm-hmm.
right? The more subscription fee, aka healthcare premiums you can pay, the better healthcare you're going to get. But if you can't afford the healthcare premiums, aka insurance premiums, you're going to get crap healthcare. Now in Canada, nobody pays healthcare premiums, and it's all crap,
Yeah, we have
right?
universal health care.
Yeah, universal. So yeah, so there you go. There's my synopsis.
What I thought was interesting that this Rivermind, um,
The company that provided the consciousness streaming, right, to the
yes,
cloud.
so
Yep.
Rivermind, my first question is if someone in, let's say a family member, I don't know who, but someone your family member went through what Amanda went through, and now you have the option to do the subscription base,
Yeah.
would you even consider it?
Well, oh yeah. Okay, so now you're talking. Do you let someone die a decent death, or do you try to keep them alive because technology can keep them alive?
Yes. So all they're saying is, yeah, she can live her life normally, but there is a grid that she cannot leave. So she needs to stay within the grid for the
So
first little bit.
okay, so answer me this. So what? So as technology advances and it can extend our lives, um, when do you say no? That's too much, right? Because a long time ago they didn't, like doctors didn't know what germs were. They didn't know what penicillin was. Now they know what penicillin is, and so that technology allows people to live longer.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago they didn't have heart transplants, but now we can do heart transplants and people get heart transplants and they live longer.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you say no technology? We shouldn't be doing this.
Okay, but would you do this?
This what in this show?
Yeah,
I doubt it.
I don't think so either. I was watching it with Mutsu, and like,
But if it was me, I wouldn't want it done to me. Is my I think my point.
I wouldn't want it done to anybody because that means your consciousness is completely in the cloud. Now,
Isn't it already?
that's what I was going to say. Is it already? We are so glued to our devices. Now we have meta glasses that you can record your daily task so then you can have like a video journal,
Well,
right?
it's the data, right? The data is valuable. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not within our consciousness, but there is a specific amount that's within our devices. We take notes, we put in our personal thoughts
Well,
in
the
there.
phone's listening. Yeah,
We
it's listening all the time.
we brainstorm on our phones. Whatever you have, the idea you have, and you put in your phone or your iPad, it's in the cloud. So is it coming where your consciousness is could be in the cloud and this kind of thing can happen? I think it can, and I think it's going to be very scary,
Yeah, I
actually.
mean,
It really is.
they're gonna get to a point where they can upload, right? They can digitize your thoughts and upload it. But today, if you chat with ChatGPT, and if you've been chatting with ChatGPT for the last 2 years and you haven't erased any of your conversation, and you ask ChatGPT, what do you know about me? And what do you think are my weaknesses? It'll go through, it'll create pages and pages and pages of what it knows about you. I know because I tried.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it was weird. I was
That's
like, oh,
creepy.
wow. And then you can say, give me some psychological insights into myself. Oh, it gives you all the dark, dark and the good things. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. And yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Well, no, no. Like if I asked ChatGPT right now, what do you know about my kids? It would probably tell me a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know how it, I don't know how it gets it, but it does.
That's really creepy.
It's not that far off. That so set the consciousness stuff aside. Okay, so just set that aside for a second. The subscription model is such that you want your customers to continue to pay monthly. Why? So you keep the cash flow going,
Yes, yeah.
right? So if so the pessimist would say, well, drug companies don't want to cure you. They want to ensure that you keep taking medicine over and over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
right? A bastardized subscription model. Okay? So let's go with vaccines, for example. I don't care if it's one vaccine or another. Oh, take this vaccine because every year it'll keep you safe from XYZ. Well, no, not. But right, they scare you or they tell you that you need to take such and such all the time, often to prevent you from getting sick. That's a subscription model. They don't call it that, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that part and that commercialization of healthcare is already here. Right? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. But it's not all healthcare stuff. Like we pay for subscription based Netflix, you pay for a subscription base. There's YouTube, you pay for a subscription base. OnlyFans,
Yeah, but yeah, I get that
subscription
stuff. That's
base.
entertainment, but healthcare is your life. So,
Healthcare is your life, but
so they, hmm?
this cloud streaming concept is not just about healthcare. She's giving ads about anything and everything.
Mm.
And now you're subscribing. Okay, in this movie, you're subscribing. Sorry, TV show. You're subscribing to just literally when you like, you're subscribing to YouTube, but then you're YouTube.
Yeah.
You're talking about family issues, and then now you're gonna give me ads about how to fix your family issues with I don't know, religious with religious ads.
Right,
It's
right,
a
right.
subscription base of just this thing spitting at you. Um, but I don't think it's very far off from what we do today because we are constantly just we're walking ads ourselves today in a different way. We don't lose our consciousness when we're giving each other ads. For an example, we say, "Hey, did you hear about this new company? They have really great skincare products." Now you're an ad.
I never heard of that company.
Okay, well, I'm just giving an
But
example.
but okay.
So it doesn't really, do you know what I mean? The way that the common subscription base started of like you having a conversation with somebody, and then now this cloud that now Rivermind is using this your friend as an ad
Oh, yeah.
person so that it flows with the conversation. It doesn't really, it's not far off from how we talk to each other as human beings, but obviously we're still conscious and our brain isn't in the cloud yet.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
So
I
it
get
doesn't,
that. So what about our conscious is in the cloud that targets advertising today? Oh, so we already do everything that the TV show says, but let me give you a different angle. Today, when you're on Facebook, when you're on Instagram, when you're on TikTok, when you're on the internet, at any time when you're on a phone, when you're on Google Maps, okay, that data is all being tracked, all of it. Even the speech to right now that I'm talking is being taken in by my phone. Okay. Apple says and Samsung and Google says that it's all, covered by their terms and conditions, but read the terms and conditions. Okay. All that data is used to target ads and target things to you so that you become the walking ad, literally. So you talked about baby diapers in front of your phone. It's going to give you an ad next time you turn on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, ads about baby diapers. Now you can either tell your friend you saw the ad about baby diapers and, oh, it's on sale, or you can actually go to the store and leverage the fact that they're on sale because the ad told you now you're going to buy them. Well, now it knows you bought them. Now it knows it can target you better. And sometimes it will know, sometimes depending on the cards that you're using and when you shop, it will know that you're shopping with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because when you get a customer loyalty card, what do they do if you recommend one of your friends?
They can give you money, give you points.
Yeah, they say, oh, recommend a friend, we'll give you $25 off next or whatever, right? Well, now what have they done? They've just connected your data to their data. When they buy something, they know that you talk. And when they buy something, that data will be shoved by their customer service back office platform to say, it might not be as blunt as, hey, your friend just bought such and such, maybe you'd like it too, but the ad will come where it will advertise what your friend just bought in the hopes that you talk to that friend about that thing and now you go buy it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's working. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So anytime you see, hey, recommend your friend, we'll give you money off, that is exactly why they're doing it. Because you become the walking ad. And now your friend circle, now they can see what your friends, and now they can cause that conversation to happen amongst you. And now they can make you all go out and buy the same thing. Not because of them, but because they told you to talk, right? And now you're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's already happening.
Yes. But obviously on a different level.
Well, I would say the one in the TV show is less insidious than the one I just said. The one in the video is blatant. You can not pay or pay. You have your choice,
mm-hmm.
right, in the TV show. But in the one that we're talking about, if you want to shop at a certain store and get the points to get cheaper, blah, 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 you have to use their card. But all that data in the background they're using, and you have no idea how they're using it. That's insidious. You know what insidious means?
Yes, I do.
That's the scary part. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Subtle. It's always there.
Very subtle, but it's already here. We are already walking ads, and we don't even know it.
Yeah, that's why we're no. Oh, this is a Uniqlo shirt. That's why all my shirts are completely brand nameless.
You're a walking ad of Mount Fuji.
Mount Fuji and my Costco pants.
Yeah.
And my Costco 20 pairs of socks for like $12.
That's great. We can get sponsored by Costco.
And Skechers socks.
Yeah. Basically everything I own is Uniqlo.
But that's how it works.
Yeah.
People don't know that. A lot of people don't know that still.
I think they don't really think about it.
They don't. And then, so what people do is they complain about the blatant, right? They complain about the blatant encroachment on privacy, right? So, oh, the government has to protect my healthcare records. Oh, so-and-so has to protect. Well, guys, it's out there. You're only talking about the blatant abuse or what you can see. But there's an iceberg and the water line is here, and what you can see is just the tip of the iceberg, and everything you can't see is way underneath the water on an iceberg, right? That's what you can't see, but that's where the real data is, and you don't even care about that.
Because you don't even know about it, and you don't even think about it.
Well, you don't think about it, but that's the point.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. But with a cloud one, I think it's a bit more different, like in the show, because the brain needs to, like, the river mind needs to scan the brain to so then she can function normally, so it understands her memories.
Well, then you got this relationship where, right, she does the ads in order for her to live, right? So I mean, that's a little bit gross. Yeah, I see. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's very gross. It was very disturbing, and the fact that Mike, her husband, had to do some very gruesome things
just to pay for it.
just to start paying for it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
thing. Well, that's why I like the medical side of it, right? Because when in retail you can choose whether or not. Ultimately, in retail you can choose whether or not to get a loyalty card, shop at a certain place, use cash or a credit card or their right. So you can make those choices. But in medical, if you want medical attention, then you're gonna go to the doctor, you're gonna go to a hospital, you're gonna take the drugs that they want, and if they're expensive, like in the States, maybe you want a free trial, maybe you sign up for free trials. So now they got all your info just so you can make the medical expenses,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because medical debt in the United States is a big thing.
Yeah,
It's a
I
really
hear
big
about
thing,
it every day.
right?
Yeah.
So I think medical is a whole different ballgame because so emotional. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
If I don't get something, I'm gonna
Yeah.
die.
But in the end, Amanda did die.
She did,
Yeah.
which is stupid because the company just lost revenue stream. So if I was them, I would reduce the ads, but keep them like I would like keep it go. Do you know what I mean? I'd make them live as long as I could so they have ad revenue. That's kind of silly. You see what I'm saying? They just lost ad revenue. So why would you let the host die? I guess
Well, the host, Amanda dies. Yeah.
she does. I remember that
Yeah.
part.
Because Mike kills her,
He does.
or
Spoiler alert.
he ends her life.
Yep.
It was a gruesome, bitter, sweet ending for Amanda.
She was free from the.
Because, so let me refresh your memory,
Yeah.
okay? So it got to the point where they could no longer afford the Plus, which was 800. I'm guessing it was in the US.
I think it was 800
$800
bucks. Yep.
US dollars for the Plus. The Common was $300. Now she's constantly running ads to recharge herself, I guess, to recharge the brain. She needs to be
To
sleeping
keep the
like,
subscription going, yeah.
she needs to sleep like
Recharge,
16, 18, 20 hours per day.
Yep,
She
yep.
can't do anything but sleep and just talk ads now by the end of this episode, okay? Mike saves up all his money from Dum Dummies, all the dumb stuff that he did for his wife, and got her a 15-minute Lux experience. And she felt for 15 minutes pure serenity. I think that's what it was, right? It was serenity or something, like very peaceful. I don't remember the term that it was in the. So she just felt at peace and calm, and they were sitting in the backyard together. And she told him, "Do it when I'm not here."
In the serene place.
Well, she was feeling this.
Right.
Yeah, she told him, "Do it when I'm not here," and he understood what that meant. And he took her to the bed while she's still feeling at peace with herself. And then you can see the time ticking on her phone too. So you see like 5 seconds left. And then right when it hits 0, that timer goes off and she starts spitting out ads. She's completely gone. She's not there anymore. And he grabs a pillow and
does his thing.
And she dies. And the last part, which was a really fun cliffhanger, was him walking back into his room where he was filming his Dum Dummies, and he closes the door, and we don't know what happens next.
Did he? Yeah. What's he do?
I don't know what he did. So it was a very peaceful moment for her because she felt this pure bliss, like she was at peace with herself. So it was like a weirdly bittersweet for her because she was feeling this emotion that she was able to control on her phone. But for Mike, it was completely different experience. Because he couldn't trick his brain to feel pure serenity, right? He couldn't trick his brain to feel pure peace.
Yeah, he wasn't connected.
He wasn't connected. Yeah. So it's just like, it was a very gruesome but bittersweet for her because of where her brain was at that moment, of how it ended. But how do you think, what do you think happened when he closed that door, that cliffhanger?
Look,
he just had to.
He connected his wife because he wanted her to be alive.
Yes.
Right. and he didn't want her to die. I think in many cases that's noble,
That's totally fair. You
right?
don't want your loved
You
one
don't
to
want
go.
your loved ones to die, but there comes a point, and I think he was noble enough to realize that point had come. And so then that would give rise to things that, can you help people unalive themselves when it gets too tough for them or when it gets too tough for you? And so those questions would pop up. What he did after he went into the room, after his wife had passed, or he made her pass, I would suggest that he probably decided to unalive himself as well. That's my guess.
That was the vibe that it gave.
Because I think he wasn't going to get peace from doing his stupid stuff. His love of his life was gone. He provided her what he could, the serenity at the very end.
Yes.
And then I think he had I don't know if guts is the right word, but I think he had the epiphany where this is it. I look like crap anyway, and my life is toast.
He doesn't have a job. Yeah. His face is all over the internet now.
It gives rise to the question: if you help a loved one that's in a certain situation take care of themselves to pass on, I don't know with what feelings people live with after that. I've never been put in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you have to unplug someone.
Oh yeah, I was gonna give that.
Right, whether you have to unplug someone or whether someone that you love it asks you to help them, which in Canada is legal under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, how does that leave you? So I think some people might not have a problem with it because they were asked to do it. Some people are voluntold to do it.
Or forcefully.
And some people are forced to do it because, hey, the hospital needs the bed and we can't keep your...
Well, not only that, it could have been a car crash and it was not even... This conversation never came up.
Yeah.
And this person got into a horrible car crash or something and...
Well, I mean...
You don't know what to do.
Extend it beyond maybe the mind, maybe the person's body isn't working, but maybe their mind can still function. So do you keep that going forever? There's a lot of nuances, right?
Yeah.
But the challenge is, 20 years ago, the nuances would have been completely sci-fi movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge today is that we are actually quite close to having that reality, like right now.
Yeah.
Right. So all of the different religious, moral, medical, monetary, all of those considerations now have to be talked about because we can actually almost do, literally almost do what are in sci-fi movies.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Very crazy. Do you think you can rewatch it? The episode?
I'll rewatch it. I will rewatch it, and I think that I want maybe a different perspective.
I don't know if I can rewatch it. It was really dark for me.
I'll try.
Out of all the Black Mirror episodes, this one was like...
Hit you the worst? Most?
This one was really gross because I know how close this future is. Like I could see it. The Black Mirror, I don't know when it first came out, but I remember watching it in high school and I was like, this is really cool and I could see it happening in the future, but I don't know when. Seeing how fast technology is advancing, and I could see this, I can see this in my lifetime. I don't know if it will happen, but I can see it. That's what is really gross to me because these startups will actually try to do this and will grab people when they're the most vulnerable.
Yep.
And they're just emotional. Their logic isn't kicking in.
That's right.
And they grab people like kind of like a cult.
Yeah.
You grab people when they're vulnerable.
Well, they search. They know who to search for.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so this episode really made me like
feel gross.
Feel really gross. So right after we watched The Office.
Just to get some laughs
cleanse
in?
Ourselves.
To cleanse your soul of the grossness?
Yeah. It just felt really gross. And I've never felt like that before. Obviously, after watching a horror movie, that's different. But like this one was just like, it was gross. Because, people do this. People, like I said, cult, like people pull other people when they're at their like lowest.
Yeah.
They just pull them in. So I don't know if I can rewatch it. And I don't want to rewatch it. Because it was very disturbing. It was really sad.
Beyond watching the show, it's interesting to think about the considerations that we have to actually consider with the technology as it advances. Very interesting.
Yes. So don't, I don't know, it's really hard, but don't let your emotions decide what you need to do. It's really hard to say that.
Well, we are emotional.
I mean, to
we
do
are
that.
we are emotional beings. So good luck with that. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Easier said than done,
It's
obviously.
like me and my internet. Very emotional right now about my internet.
I know what you want.
Damn internet companies in Canada.
But yeah, this first episode, I'm excited for what's coming. Like the other ones, I didn't watch it because that one just made me feel really gross. I'm just taking a break from Black Mirror, even though I just watched the first episode.
Weirdo.
Yeah. So that's just kind of where my head is at.
Okay.
Very gross, disturbing start, and I'm excited for what's coming next because what Black Mirror is doing is definitely.
Well, it's cutting edge, and it's right on the edge of our technology, right?
So and you know what's even creepier? I'm sure some startups are already doing what.
Oh, they're already thinking. Of course they are. I mean, they're already thinking about how to implant crap into our brains for sure.
Not just that, but like there are other episodes.
Yeah.
Other 6 seasons that they have done. I'm sure there's other like.
They had one with the social credit score and stuff like just creepy stuff that's real. It's right there.
Yeah. So Elia's home. But I think we're at a good spot where we can end it. But
like and subscribe.
But before we go, just think about it. Would you ever do this to yourself or others? After watching this episode or just hearing about kind of what we're talked about? Or do you even think Rivermind's model is even that far off?
Questions to ask yourself, and no, I don't think Rivermind's model is that far from being reality.
I don't think so either. But you let us know in the comments what you think and what you thought of this episode, because this one was very creepy. Don't want to watch it ever again. But you might have to watch it in real life. I don't know, in the next 20 years. Who knows? Your friend might have their brain in the cloud.
That's right. You might have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
By doing Dumb and Dumber things.
Yeah. Or like GoFundMe. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. I hope you like this one. And we'll see you on our next podcast episode.
Sayonara.
Bye.